Yeah, you got a minute, Brunette. Hello, everybody. Oh man, Brunette. Oh shit. It says 0. They're giving me a counter. Hang on. I have a counter this time. Ooh, I wonder, is it gonna let me type? It didn't let me. It won't let me comment. Hang on. Nope. All except Facebook destinations. Okay. Let's do just YouTube. How about now? Can I type? Nope. It's not letting me type. Brunette, can you hear me? Honestly, I don't even care. Can you hear me though? I want to make sure everything's in order. Thank you, sir. Okay, cool. And I suppose I should let this go. But I want to leave my music on. Whatever. Anyways, story time. I don't even know where to start. I mean, there's just so much. There's so much. And it's just one day at a time for me and my family right now. So, you know, I'm skeptical about even going live tonight. I kind of want to wait. I kind of wanted to wait till after Monday just because we have a lot going on. I will say this. I mean, the one thing that I have learned in the last 5 years, right? It's been almost 5 years since I started ministry. Honey, are you still up? Girls, can you turn the TV down some? It's been 5 years since I started doing ministry. And since day one, I have had neither care nor concern as to the outcome of what that could mean. We've lost our house over it. I've been, I don't know, falsely accused of everything you can think of. And I've had every ABC, whatever you want to call them, every ABC. Hang on, I'm going to show you guys something. Every ABC fucking uh, government branch or whatever show up at my house trying to accuse me of something. Hang on, not quite done. A couple of them got left up there. And this is, I think I'm like 10 cards shy on this. This is every business card to every DCFS, detective, police officer, lawyer, everything that we've been through for the gospel as a family. 5 years, just solid. Don't care. You know, the outcome is going to be the outcome, and I'm cool with that. I've trusted Jesus every step of the way, and still to this day. I mean, in everything. But I want to tell you guys a story. Brenda, you still there? Still working? I mean, something that just, this hits home for me. I promise you after Monday we will, it's still working. Okay, good. After Monday we'll do Second Chronicles. Like, I swear on everything. It's finishing the Bible on here is number one for me. It really is. Just going through a lot. My family's been through a lot. And not once has God ever failed me, and I don't expect that he will. I mean, there's no way that there's no way. Romans 8:28, you know. the verse on the screen, right? Be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. That's a command. It's not a suggestion. It's an absolute command. It's you're either perfect or you're not. There is no middle ground. I think to understand even the situation at all, you have to understand that verse. But I want to tell you guys a story. This isn't me coming to you as the preacher, so to speak. I mean, I am, obviously. That is the role that I play for a lot of people. There's no play about it. I mean, it just is what it is. I am who I am. I did what I did. I put in the time and the effort, and I have what I have. And nobody, under any circumstance, can take that from me. Nobody, for any reason. Which one of you convinceth me of sin? Nobody. Jesus paid for it all. But I want to tell you guys a story because it's the most important thing to me. And it's been kind of a big deal in my life. And it's in part why I'm at where I'm at. And kind of explain why, I don't want to say I've let the channel lapse. I haven't. Everything I'm doing on purpose. Even not being live as much. The way I do things with people in my life that I care about is generally I will only call to play catch up when I'm doing something better than what I was the last time we talked. If I fuck up my life in any way, shape, or form, you won't hear from me. But when I overcome whatever obstacle was in my way, that's when you'll hear from me. I'm like every other human being. The relationships I have with people in life, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I fucking do it, right? And I can't be more serious about that. Like there's just nothing in me that matters more in this completely pointless existence than to be a man of your word. That's always been like the biggest thing for me. And I'm like that, I've taught that to my children. Somebody once put it into words that I've hung on to for many, many, many years. And I've taught it to my children and I've lived by it. And it's say what you mean and mean what you say. Who I learned that from, it's an oxymoron in this situation. But the person that taught me that would be happy to know that I live by it. And I have for a very long time. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And it coincides with everything we do Bible. It coincides with all of it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If you speak a lie, then you're a liar. That doesn't change. None of the verses change for anybody. My last 5 years, that's been my focus. Bible verses. But I want to take you guys way back. Brunette, you still with me? We good? Shirley, are you here? I'm curious. Who's all here? 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. I have my counter back. They won't let me talk, though. They won't let me type in the chat. Not too worried about tonight. You're here. Okay. I want to tell you a story. It's a big deal to me. It's always been a big deal. And, while I'm online and you guys have my first, last name, anybody can find anything they want about me. I really don't care. I don't hide anything. I have nothing to hide from anybody. So my family, the last couple of weeks, right? I went to Houston. Everybody knows about that. I went to Houston pre-Houston. Houston was an awesome trip. I got to meet Jason. It was beautiful. Absolutely. I think it was absolutely beautiful. I don't think he had a fucking half a clue what he signed up for, but he survived it. He didn't die. So, and I didn't die. It was a damn good trip. Damn good trip. Whether it sticks for anybody or not, it was still a good trip. I still did what I set out to do. And that's what I want to talk about. But I want to go way back, right? My testimony's on here. Anybody that, oh man. Yeah, I suppose we should just start here, right? Matthew 5:48 says, "Be therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Jesus didn't stutter. It's not a suggestion. It's a command. Either you're perfect or you're not. Either you're perfect or you're going to hell. You can't be a believer and be a sinner at the same time. You can't be both. 1 John 1:8, and I'm just going to lead off with this because this is part of who I am. It's not, it is. It just is part of it. It is who I am. It is just is what it is. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. He that committeth sin is of the devil. That's not changing for anybody at any point in time, for any reason, ever. Ever. If you sin, you're of the devil. You do with it what you want to do with it. If you want to make excuses for yourself and keep sinning over and over and over, sin, repent, repeat, whatever. If you want to play that game, you play that game. Tonight's not about that game. It's just part of it. It's what got me to where I'm at and why I am the way I am. And that's really kind of what I'm going for. But this is part of it. This is part of who I am. Whosoever abideth in him sinneth not. Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him. If you still sin, you don't know Jesus. If you still sin, you're not a Christian. In the description of this video and every video pretty much that I've ever done is the link to the Never Sin Again Bible study. Pay attention to it, finish it, look up the verses for yourself, and go and sin no more. Or keep serving sin and go to hell. Don't know what else to say. The Bible says what it says. I can't change what the Bible says. I would never, ever, ever add to or take away from this. It just is what it is. But tonight I want to take you guys back. I want to take you way back. And I'll get into kind of all of it, where I'm at and why. Whew. So when I was a kid, I grew up very poor. I grew up in the hood. Ooh, you know what I might could do? Ooh, should I? Maybe I should. I'll try. Let me see if I can get it. Google Earth. See that? If you are watching this and you see your address in the lookups, oh well. I always look up and see 2014 G Berkshire Circle. Why didn't that go? There it is. I'll show you right up. I don't know what that is. Okay, search. This is going to be a very chillax show. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. I'm at that point where I can only trust him. I've always been at that point, though. But I'm learning patience on a level that I wouldn't. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say, like, would I wish this on somebody? You know? I think I would, just because the learning experience is unreal. This is just unreal. I never thought in my whole life. Hang on, I'm gonna full screen. See if that helps. Nope, that's not helping. What's going on? So that is definitely not the US. That's Japan. Okay. Friends that went to Japan recently. There's Illinois. Let's make it north. Reset to north. Okay. Chicago. See Chicago. This is where I'm from. Is it showing? Reset to north. Got it. That. Chicago, Rosemont, Schaumburg, Elgin, Gilbert's. No. South Elgin. Where's Carpentersville? There it is. That should be Route 25. Meadowdale Elementary. All right, I know where it is. So we're on this way. There's the golf course. You take a right or left. That should be the 7-Eleven. That should be Meadowdale, and it is. And that should be Berkshire. And that should be where I grew up, right there. Let's see. Right. Shithole. Shithole. Absolute shithole. Anyway, so that's what I grew up in, right there. That was my, either this one or this one. No, it had to be this one. That one. That should be 2014 G. And that would have been Alicia's house. Yeah, that one. So that one. Shithole. And I was picked on and bullied. I was always poor. We were always the poor people. And I don't, whatever. It happens. I don't use that. I'm not that dude, right? I've never been like, oh, I was born in a poor house, so poor me. I've never been that dude, ever. And I never will be, because I won't always be poor. And I know that. Even now, like, I'm at that brink. I'm ready, like, we're at that spot. I'm not even poor now. But at the end of it, a lot has brought me to where I'm at right now. And the biggest thing, the most important one, and I remembered I was sixth grade middle school, and it was health class. Now, mind you, growing up where I grew up, I didn't really give too much of a shit about school, I was more worried about making it home when I got off the bus. That was my concern, was surviving my day at school. Not getting shot, not getting jumped, and that shit happened. On this very street that I'm showing you guys, I saw my first shooting when I was like 6 years old. It's like 50 Mexicans coming down this way. I don't know if you can see where my mouse is, but coming from this end of the street, walking towards this end of the street, shooting at one black dude. And my mom used to put me and my sister through drive-by drills, like just in case, because my neighbor's house had got hit. Alicia's brother was a king, and they shot up his car while I was in the driveway. And so, I mean, there's a lot of problems. I remember these things, and it baffles me to this day. I don't know why my mom stayed. For what she paid to live here, we could have lived in Florida perfectly fine. But hindsight is 2020, and she's dead. So, Berkshire was something else. And growing up, a lot of you guys know I never got to meet my dad, and I don't use that as anything whatsoever. I had a brother. I have a brother, and he didn't even know I existed until like 2 years ago. But I found him. To me, growing up in this situation, to me, first and foremost, the number one thing, the only thing I cared about in life at that time, obviously, it wasn't Bible. I was a child. I didn't know. But as I grew, I understood that the Bible is invaluable, that it is an integral part. It is the reason we exist, is to learn and understand the gospel. And when you, even in heathen building Sunday school, you learn like Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and Esau, the 12 tribes. You learn about the Father and the children, and with God and Jesus, Father and Son. These things exist for a reason. So even as a child, my mom went boyfriend to boyfriend, or stepdad to stepdad, whatever you want to call it. That's what I did. The stepdad to stepdad. And more than anything, the only thing I ever wanted to be was a good dad. That was it. And the story I want to tell tonight is from 6th grade, Carpentersville Middle School. You can look it up. I looked it up before this. Mr. Brown is no longer there. I don't know where he is. And the only reason I remember his name is because of the question he asked this day. And it was 6th grade. It was the first day of health class. And I know why he was asking the question. I understand it now, being 38 years old, why you would ask this to a room full of children. But I think I was like 13 years old. He asked the question, how old do you want to be when you have your first child? And it was health class, but it wasn't just health. It was economics. It was all these different things. And so I understand why he was asking it, to try and teach us that you need money, you need a career, you need X, Y, and Z. But when he asked this, and I asked that you keep in mind, like, I was a fuck off student. I was more worried about surviving than I was about how my grades did. I didn't really participate too much in class until the end of the year when I needed to pass. And then it was straight A's. But I never raised my hand. I didn't take part. So when he asked that question, I was like 13. He said, how old do you want to be when you have your first kid? And I was the first person in the classroom with my arm up, and it shocked him. Like, I remember the look on his face. I remember his name because of it. I remember this whole day perfectly, because it was the day where I knew what was important to me. I mean, it was the day where I came face to face with what I didn't have, what I wanted to be. It was the day when I accepted what was important to me. And I raised my hand. I was the first person in the class to shoot my hand up, and he said, Mr. Green. And he was, I'll never forget the look on his face, because, I just didn't take part. And he said, how old do you want to be when you have your first kid? And I said, 19. And he looked at me kind of shocked. One, because I was 13, telling him I want to have my first kid in 5 years. And two, because, it just is what it is. I said 19. And he said, well, and he knew my grades. Like, he knew. I was in school suspension all the time. Like, he knew. And he said, well, how are you going to take care of your kid? Like, what about money? What about college? What about all this stuff? I said, I didn't care. I said, all that mattered to me was being able to love my child the way nobody was ever there to do for me. Being able to be a dad. And I say that with both, my two kids that currently, kind of long stories. I'm probably going to get into that too. I say that with their names on my arms right now. Because it was them that I was talking about. I raised my hand in class that day. It was my daughter that I was talking about when I raised my hand in that class that day. Said I just want to be a good dad. And you don't need money for that. I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't need money for that. You need to say what you mean and mean what you say. That's it. You need to say what you mean and mean what you say. I did that. I've done that regardless. She's been fed a lot of bullshit her whole life, but it's why I won't sign. She got lied to. She got robbed. I got robbed. I got robbed of being a part of my daughter's life. I got robbed of being involved in my son's life. Currently still being robbed of it. With my son, it's different because I didn't let my ex do what my ex before her did. I didn't. I stepped up from day one and fought. Not as hard as I could have, but I didn't have the money. And to this day, that's still hard. The money end of it's still hard. If you're a dad trying to be a dad, all the cards are stacked against you in this country. All the cards are stacked against you. There ain't shit you can do. You just better hope to God. Whew. I'll just never forget that day in that class. He said, how old do you want to be when you become a dad? And I said, 19. I was 20, 21 when I had my daughter. I was a year late. And I was her favorite to the day before her third birthday, and her mom lied. Her mom fucking lied and screwed me out of my kid. Filed a bullshit order of protection. But I was late. I was late to court. And that's the second half of this. That's the second half of tonight that I want to talk about. Is being a man. And part of being a man is being able to own when you fucked up. I'm not crying for my situation now. I'm crying because I owned my shit. And I know how hard that is for people. I do this. I can't say for a living because I don't get paid for what I do. But I do this and I watch so many people who can't just own their shit. But I own mine. I was late to court and they wouldn't let me see her for 2 years. My ex lied. She said I was drinking and driving with my kid in the car. There was no arrest. Police showed up. I was not drinking. It was a can of Coke. She lied. And I was late to court. I was fucking late. And the judge granted the order of protection. There was never an arrest. DCFS came. Everything was cleared. The judge ordered her to let me see my daughter, and she refused. And then she ordered her to have us do counseling, and she refused. I called the counselor to schedule the date. She never showed. but I could never afford the lawyer because I was poor. And I didn't know. I had no fucking clue. Man. I promised myself I would never let that happen to me again. And I just tell myself every day that someday when my daughter wants the truth, she'll come. When my daughter's ready for the conversation, she'll show up. And she did on YouTube one day, which, I think I hammered her with way too much, way too fast. But at the same token, if she reads what I wrote to her a year from now, she'll understand them. So I don't regret anything I've done. I don't regret a damn thing. I learned the hard way. And with my son, I'm fighting for him tooth and nail. Same fucking bullshit. Only this bitch, she went a far and above on lies. It's all going to bite her in the ass. And I don't even care. Like, it's on here, whatever. It's my life. I got nothing to hide. I haven't done anything. I've spent my last, 10 years, really, in retrospect. I remember the moment that I started fixing all the bullshit. And I'm 38 now. I was 33 when I walked away from cars. I told my boss I needed to take a few years, and I wanted to get to know me, and I wanted to get to know my children. And I got married. I met Lee, and I just decided it was time. And so that's what I've done the last few years. And ministry, Bible. And that was the best thing I ever did. I walked away from cars and I picked up the Bible. And I got to know who I was. And I got to know my kids. Excuse me. And sorry, just if you guys knew, if you knew. Bible. Yeah. Put the Bible first. And I got to know myself, and I got to know my kids. And I got my shit together. Hardcore. Like, got them out of the trailer, got us into a house. I have a badass wood shop out in the garage. I cannot wait for warmer weather. And I'm at that point now where every move I make counts. Every fucking move I make counts, and I understand that now. Nobody ever taught me that. Nobody ever sat me down and said, listen, Barry, this is going to affect you 10 years from now. Nobody ever did that. Teachers tried, but I guess, at the same token, like, I don't think anybody ever really cared enough. And so I try and be that for everybody. I try and just be that for everybody. Oh, I'm at that point where everything's about to turn around, and I don't know how it's going to turn around. I don't know how it's going to turn around. I mean, everything's perfect. Like, I'm not joking. Like, my life is fucking perfect. I have perfect marriage, perfect kids, house full of laughter all day, every day. Cars paid off. Everything's taken care of. All the bills are paid. We get by. But it's that time where, like, you ever tell yourself, like, I wish I knew what I know now back then. And I'm at that point now where I know what I wish I would have known back then, but now I have the same opportunity that I did back then. And that opportunity, man, no matter what I do, I know for a fact that I'm going to kill it. I know for a fact that I'm going to kill it. I was born for this. No matter what it is, I was born for this. And all I've ever wanted to be is a good dad. My baby mama's lied to my kids, and they're going to regret it. They're going to regret it because I got the receipts. I got all the receipts. I got all the court papers. I have fucking everything. I saved everything. I did get kicked in the balls this week, though. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I got kicked square in the fucking balls. That's why I haven't been live. So I paid all my reinstatement fees. I paid all my shit to get my license back. Everything is done. And then the thing online said, but you still have additional stops on your license. Oh, I said, okay. So they gave me the phone number to call, and I called the state. State told me child support doesn't have a fucking hold on my license. They don't have a hold on my license. But, and this is where this sucks, man. This is where this being a man thing comes in. So in 2012, I lost everything. I know you guys don't know the story, obviously, but I lost everything. I mean, it was just my ex, man. She fucking ruined me so many fucking times. I allowed it. There's that man part. I allowed it. If I'd have never fucking listened, if I'd have just done what I knew what to do, wouldn't happen. Would have happened. And it was my birthday, and I couldn't see my daughter, couldn't see my son, and I drank myself to oblivion. I'm not even like, I don't have anything to hide. It was my birthday. I drank myself to oblivion. I was depressed. Yeah, I went through all that, man. You guys think like I just come out here and say I'm perfect? No, like I went through it. I still to this day I go through shit every day. It's different for me now. Like it's different. Everything being perfect is different. I will tell you that. Like everything is different. Everything has changed. All things are perfect. I can't explain that to you. Like even the news I'm about to give you for me is perfect. And that's a hard thing. That's sometimes a hard thing to cope with. I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes it's really hard to cope with because it hurts sometimes, but you have to understand. It's all about understanding. It's all about patience. Let patience have her perfect work so that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. It's all about patience. So even now, like I'm telling you, my life is perfect, but I got some really shitty news this week. And so I've been out of trouble I haven't had any new charges, we'll say. I haven't had any new charges in about 7 years. And even before that, it was all, oh, well, that wasn't really that dumb. But it's been almost 10 years. I haven't had any new charges. I haven't gone to jail. I haven't had any arrests. I haven't had so much as a fucking jaywalking ticket in almost 10 years. And that's an accomplishment on my end, I haven't had shit. I've stayed out of trouble. I got my shit together. I did what I told my boss I was going to do. When I walked away from the car business, I said, look, Charlie, I got, it's time for me to figure out me. I spent my whole life trying to do for everybody else. I wanted to figure out me. And I went home. I stopped selling cars. My wife wanted to go back to work because I was the breadwinner. I was the one paying all the bills. And she said she didn't want to be at home. She wanted to go to work. She wanted me at home with the kids. I took that time to pick up the Bible and say, this is what I need to learn. And I did that. And I told Charlie, I'm step away from cars. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get my shit together. I got my kids out of the trailer, paid off car, wood shop. My wife's got a great job. Everything is perfect. I can't complain. I've had, I don't know how many people come through my house just shocked that this is actually what it is. And it is actually what it is. I don't lie to anybody. I've got nothing to hide. I've done it. All my ducks are in a row. Really, when we get down to real brass tacks, I don't even have to go back to work. But, it was that time. We all sat down and we looked at everything and just said, this would be beneficial. So I paid off all my shit to get my license. And they told me not until 2028. And there's not shit I can do about it. I've been out of trouble almost 10 years. Paid off everything I was supposed to do, did all my fines, all my shit, just to get fucked off till 2028. And while that is a kick in the balls, I don't think that's really going to have an effect on things. I really don't. At least not to the degree that you would think it's going to have an effect. But there's that patience part, right? Patience. Being patient. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. All I wanted in life was to be a good dad, and I've accomplished that. Even to my daughter, she just doesn't know. She just doesn't know. But the other girls know, and someday she's going to meet them, and they're going to tell her, and she's going to find out. I made sure of that. I mean, damn sure of that. All I wanted to be was a dad, and a good one. And I come to you tonight to just tell you the story about being in 6th grade and knowing even then that it's not about money being a dad. It's about patience. It's about patience. And the Bible. And if you sin, you are of the devil. I don't know what to tell you guys. That's not going to change. A lot of good news, though. I mean, I've always got good news, right? It's a lot of good news. So I got people asking me for the garage stuff. That's kind of nice. It was nice to get that. I don't know where this is going to go. I'm just trying to alleviate some of the things that are on my chest before I get too involved in this. Monday, I'll have a lot of answers. I'll have a lot of answers on Monday. By the end of next week, everything will be figured out. And after that, it's all uphill. Well, I can't say uphill. I mean, it all just is what it is. I've hit that point, like success is the best revenge. I don't know who said it, but someone said it, and it's the truth. Success is the best revenge. And every move I make from here on out is towards that success. Not that I really give a shit about revenge. I already have it. I mean, everybody that ever told me that I wouldn't do it, I've already done everything they said I wouldn't do. I have everything they said I wouldn't have. I have everything they don't fucking have. In 99% of the cases, I have everything they said I wouldn't have. I have everything that they don't fucking have. But it's never been about money for me. Even at 13 years old, I fucking knew that being a parent wasn't about money. And any parent that thinks being a parent is about money isn't a real fucking parent. Shells. I don't need to repent. I can't sin. I repented 5 years ago. 5 years ago. The fuck do I need to repent for? I can't sin. I've been saved for 5 years. I'm just inching one step closer and closer and closer to everything that I've worked towards for the last 10 years. And right now I'm going through a lot as far as the amount of weight that is causing. Proverbially speaking, on my shoulders and chest. I don't know if you guys have ever been so stressed out that you puke. That's been happening a lot. But it's not, I can't say it's even stress. It's just trust. It's just trust. I know that no matter what the fuck happens, I can trust him. And sometimes those situations are very hard. Very fucking hard. I trust him. He hasn't failed me yet. 5 years I've been doing this. He hasn't failed me at all. I don't anticipate that he will. I think Monday's going to be a really good day. I think I'm going to come up here Monday with some fucking crazy news. And I'm very excited about it because in the end, it only leads to my success. It leads to the success of everybody involved with me, really. Oh, man, this is going to be good. Thursday was good too. I'm not even gonna lie. Thursday was good. I can't even tell you guys what's going on behind the scenes because I don't want to give it away, and I don't know if it's going to be a different outcome than what it should be. But even if it is a different outcome than what it should be, it's still going to be very similar. So, I'm just at that point where no matter what I do from this point on, everything just is bread and butter. And in the end, my kids are what matter the most. Obviously, Bible first. That is a given, and my children know it. What do you mean chastised? Who said I'm being chastised? Was Job being chastised? Job wasn't being chastised. God just made a bet with the devil and said, take my servant Job. He's righteous. And, man, if I look at the license thing on my end, that's not being chastised for anything I've done lately. That's shit. I found out that my license, I got a 10-year extension to my suspension in 2017, and I didn't know about it. I had no idea. I just found out last week. I paid all my shit, reinstatement fees, everything, like, let's go. And then they're like, nope. So it's not chastisement, man. And if it is, it's for shit that I did while I was a sinner. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change the outcome. I understand that. It's not going to change the outcome. It just changes the path. And that's it. I mean, there's no... I got to go through what I got to go through. I did the things I did. I'm man enough to admit it, Like, I've got no problem stepping up and telling somebody all the shit I've done. I don't hide from anything. I have nothing to hide. Justified in all things. My history is my history. I can take some of it and say, well, this is why I did what I did, but I still did what I did regardless of why. And I own that. And that's the difference between me and fucking 999 out of 1,000 people, apparently. The Bible says if you sin, you're of the devil. If you can't own that, then you're never going to get saved. Ever. You're just going to keep serving sin until you die. It's been the difference between me and a lot of people for a long time. But my reasons why, just why. It doesn't shape who I am tomorrow, but it made me who I am today. And I'm good. Fucking rock solid, man. All bullshit aside. I am sober. What makes you think I'm not? What do you define as sobriety? I've got fucking... Hang on. I've got like 6 years. Alcohol isn't a problem in my life. Drugs are not a problem in my life. I don't have those issues. If anything, my problem is food. And I'm working on that. I really am. Trying to quit drinking pop is fucking hard. And even that, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Physical exercises profits little. Right here. Physical. Okay. 1 Timothy 4:8. That's the verse. That's not what it says, but 1 Timothy 4:8. Bodily exercise profits little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come. It just is what it is. And Brunette, thank you in for the save. Yeah, God doesn't hear sinners to begin with, so you can pray all you want, buddy. If you still sin, then near you. And who are you to judge? You can't judge me for shit. I don't judge anybody. Like, who the fuck? You judge after the flesh. I judge no man. That's the difference. That's the difference between me and you, Crimson Air. You judge after the flesh. I judge no man. But going back to it all, I mean, whew, I wish I could. Someday I might write it all down. All of it. Absolutely all of it. Unreal. Fucking unreal. The shit. My kids are going to figure it out. And it's going to be a bad day for their moms. I don't know. I don't know what to say. All I can say is that I've done everything I said I'm gonna, and I'm gonna continue to do so. And that's a bad day for a lot of people. That's a really bad day for a lot of people. And they earned it. And it's not up to me. It's already done. Just telling you guys what matters to me the most. And that was the story that I remember today. And as I look at these names on my arm every single day, and I have for fucking 18 years, almost 18 years. That's all I work towards. That's it. For 5 years, I almost forgot. I can't say I almost forgot because I didn't forget, because for 5 years, that's what I've been working towards. And now I'm at that point. I'm at that pivot moment where it all changes. And it needs to. It fucking needs to. Like, I can't wait. I just can't wait. When the truth comes out, it's going to be ugly, and it's not going to be bad on me. I didn't do shit. And the things I did do, I manned up and owned them. I paid my fucking dues. I paid my fucking dues. I paid my ounce of flesh and then some. And then some. I can't tell you how many nights I've spent in a fucking jail cell for something I didn't do. Staring at the walls, wanting to go home for something I didn't do. All that shit's going to come back. All that shit's going to come back on that person. And I can't wait for that day. And that day's coming. That day's coming. Success is the best revenge, man. I will tell you this. Success is the best revenge. If you're a dad that wants to see your kids get as far away from your problem, your baby mama, get as far away from her as you can and rebuild yourself and then go back. That's what you need to do. There's no... Because otherwise, anytime you get close to having it together, they'll just tear you back down. The system is rigged against you on every level. It is rigged against you. They reward women for destroying their families. And I'm telling you, as a child that grew up without a father, they need a dad to teach them. Without that figure, you end up with another me. And I'm not going to say that's a bad thing either. But I am going to say it would save your kids a lot of pain and a lot of suffering if you were there. And if you cared enough to teach them the Bible and life. Life. Self-worth and integrity and honesty, and how not to fuck with stupid people, because stupid people will be your downfall every single time. Every single time. And how to spot a stupid person when you meet them. So that's something nobody ever taught me, man. The Bible taught me that. The Bible taught me how to spot a stupid person and how to cut the bad fruit off of the tree. The Bible showed me who the bad fruit was. And it's anybody that serves sin. Anybody that sins. They either want the truth or they will destroy you. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And sometimes they'll be your best friend your whole life. They'll have it all, the money, the cars, retirement, 401k, family barbecues, and everything. But in the end, you're going to lose your soul. It ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. I thank God for what I have, and I am content in all things. But to any of you wondering why I haven't been live, it's because I'm going through hell. But it's perfect. And I'm learning an immense amount of patience. And I set myself up for it. Regardless to how unfair it really is, and it is very fucking unfair. I'm pretty sure the state made a mistake. There's one way I could go that might free up my license next year, but I'm not that worried about it. I made it 12 years without it so far. I sold cars for 11 out of those 12 years. So hopefully, I can make it the next 12 or the next 4. But either way, they told me February 1st, 2028, my license is automatically free. All I got to do is go to the DMV, take the written test, take my picture, and I have my driver's license back. So for that, it is what it is. 2028 is kind of a big year, even for this channel. It's going to be a long year that year. There's a lot on this. There's a lot on this. But it doesn't change the verses. Nothing changes the verses. 1 John 3:8, man. Whoever sins is of the devil. If you still sin, then you're of the devil. If you still sin, you have no business trying to judge me for anything. I can't sin. Here's that next verse. Whosoever is born of God does not commit sin, for his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he's born of God. I can't sin. And that's where this comes back to, after all of it, to me, I can't say even just to me, just in general. I know what the book says. I know what it does. I know how to use it. I've seen what it does. The book is the most important thing in the world, hands down. Hands down. Number one. It's the only thing that matters. That was the best thing I ever did was picking up the Bible. I would strongly encourage all of you to stop fucking around because it's not a joke. I've been doing ministry the last 5 years. I didn't even think about going back to work for the last 5 years. Right? It was just be dad. My kids were young. Now they're old enough they can be home. And I got to know myself and I got to know my children. I got to be a dad. Still, every night I get to cuddle up with my little Bargie. I got to do exactly what I wanted to do in life. I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, man. If you guys only knew what's coming. Holy shit. So, all that being said, yeah. It's kind of why I've been absent. I can't say absent because I'm not. I'm still in the comments. You guys can always 24/7. Doesn't change. I'm just dealing with a lot, and I'm kind of a one thing at a time kind of person. One thing at a time, one problem at a time. I deal with one problem, then move on to the next problem, then move on to the next thing. And I like to have a clear mind when I do things. I don't like walking into something all flustered and fucking worrying about everything. So I haven't been live. Chronicles we'll start after Monday, probably Wednesday. But I do want Second Chronicles done, and the rest of it. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm in this for the long haul. This ain't changing. Just circumstances, man. They're hard. But I'm excited. Things are going good. By the way, if everything goes the way that it should, I'll be switching probably to suit and tie for this. Shits and giggles type of deal. Plus, because it'll be easier when I get home from work. Oh, I did double wins or not for Jason the other day. Oh man. I just wish I could put into words, man, the amount of shit that I've been through in my life to bring me to here. And all of it just put me in the Bible. All the people. Success is the best revenge. There's nothing better. And that's where I'm at. I'm at that point where whatever I do, and I know it too, man, whatever I do is going to be successful. This is good. Burnett, I love you to death. Just know, I've just got a lot on my mind, kiddo. Got a lot on my mind. I hope my lawyer won a lot in Vegas. I really do. Hope he's in a good mood when he comes back. Oh, man. Love you guys. The verses don't change. They just mean what they say. It's not hard. Whoever sins is of the devil. We all go through the same shit, you know? Some worse than others. I can't even tell you what it was like when I got the phone call that my sister was shot and killed. I can't even begin to explain the shock that first set in and the denial, right? Instant denial. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. I called my mom a liar. I said, you're lying to me. And she wasn't lying. You know, just all I can do is put you guys in a book to the best of my ability and teach you what I know. Because what I know is what keeps me at peace, and I am at peace. Just balancing a lot of shit right now, and I hope you guys can understand. It's crazy, man. 5 years doing this, 5 years doing gospel, 5 years arguing with people that Jesus made them perfect and them saying he didn't. 5 years. Hopefully a lot more, amen? You know what I mean? It's what it is. I'm not going to stop. Ever. Fucking ever. Whew. All my kids know I love them more than anything. Always have. Not a minute, not a fucking second goes by. And when I sleep, that's all I dream about. I dream about my kids, man. That's all I think about. Then I wake up and that's what I see. Boom, boom. And the ones on my other body parts, they live with me, so I don't really have to, you know, my legs. But you go through what you got to go through. And every decision you make matters. I'm going to wrap it up. I love y'all. I'll be back after Monday. I don't even know if I'm going to leave this one up here, but I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm okay. I just going through a lot, dealing with a lot. Getting the news I got kind of really narrowed my field on what I can do. But I know Romans 8:28 don't lie. All things work together for the good. All things work together for the good to them that love God, who are called according to his purpose. Right here, 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. You know, and another thing too, like for me, reading it up here live is different than reading it in person. I think Brunette would even vouch for it. Like, I do spend all my day doing this. One way, shape, or form or another. I'm in the Bible. Y'all need to do that for yourselves. The answers are on here, yeah, but read it for yourself. See it for yourself. It's not about what I tell you. It's about what the Bible says. You know? And that's the truth. She ain't lying. She's telling you the truth. Like, it just is what it is. I'm not here to bullshit you guys. The Bible is the answer to it all. Trust him in all things. Want to get through a couple of these things, we'll get Chronicles done. I'll have a lot more answers Monday night. All I can say is trust him. Because I fucking do. Enjoy your night. I love y'all.